I guess I have to do 2 videos today. Okay, and then what's -1 times -4? 4. So you're going to subtract 4 from both sides, right? And then b equals -3. I really hope as a cat student you can handle that. This is 4, and then I have to subtract 4 to get b by itself. All right, and then we'll get somebody else here for video number 2. I don't know. Weird. Nice. Lucky number 13. Is that Ashka? No. 4, 8, 12, 13. That's Scott. So here's what we got so far, Scott. We got to bring the y back. We got the slope to be, sorry, -4. I feel like I made a mistake last hour because I don't think I got -3 as a b value. Oh well, no one said a word. -3. You have one thing to do, Scott, to get this in standard form, which I do see up in the upper left corner. What is the one thing I have to do to get this in standard form? Still leaving that in the upper left corner. Let me get my picture out of there. No one wants to see me. You're gone, Mr. Samuelis. So notice what's on the same side together here, Scott. What's on the same side? Both the what and the what. And then that's over here. So how do I get that over here? Add it. And then you add 4x, and then this one is done. So there's that annoying standard form, just doing another weird little step. Add 4x to both sides. If you want to show your undo operations, do it. It's up to you, I guess, on that one. Okay, I think we're done with those. Oh, I skipped this one last hour. Bummer. This is actually pretty easy. When I look at a coordinate plane, what do you know about the x coordinate? What does the x coordinate have to be for that point to be right there? Tell me. It has to be 0. So 0, comma, whatever the y coordinate is. And then what do you know about this coordinate? Who has to be 0? The y coordinate. So this is some x, comma, 0 for y. So to find x and y-intercepts, it's actually pretty easy. I actually can use my hand and cover this to find what y is when x is 0. Or I can cover my y to find out what the x-intercept is because I'm plugging in 0 for y in that case. Or physically do it. Here is the y-intercept, which ends up being divide by -5. So this cancels, and then you divide by -5. So I plugged in 0 for x, and I got 24/5 for y. That is the y-intercept. So I forgot to do this. I skipped over this last hour. And then for the X-Intercept Hack, let me move this out of the way. I just wanted to, make sense out of the question. For the x-intercept, you plug in 0 for y. This is why I just covered my hand over this, because this goes away, and then all I have to do is divide by 4. Don't do that. Your knuckles will be like this the rest of your life. All right, do you ever hear that? All right. -6, comma 0. Very simple. All right. Sorry, 4th hour. All right, and then we can move into the last thing, and I'm almost done. And I'll stamp away, and then you can work on that worksheet. Parallel lines. We know about parallel lines, they never cross, right? But what about the slope? Someone just yell it out. What does the slope have to be? The same. The slopes are the same, then they will never cross. So equal, I'm just going to put equal slopes for parallel lines. Does anyone remember for perpendicular lines? By the way, perpendicular lines make a 90-degree angle. But what do you know about the slopes? Anyone want to share? Put your hand up. Come on. Anyone? Yes. Nice. Opposite is one thing. I have 2 blanks, though. Opposite what? There we go. And it's spelled reciprocals. And that means flip. And that's just something you're going to have memorized. All right? Again, I'm not going to say you should know it, but you're going to have to now. That's going to have to be locked in. Okay? Definitely something you've done before, though. So then we get these silly little questions. I don't know what happens with the students when they're reading. Maybe they don't, analyze the parts here. But I always kind of break this word problem down into write an equation of a line in slope-intercept form that passes through this and is parallel to that. That's a different line, right? But what I have to do is get information off of this line to find my new line that passes through this one. So I don't know, there's a reading comprehension thing going on with that. All right, so make sure as you're writing that down, you do assess that correctly. I'll move this after I get my student. Nice. No, not here. Absence. Absence is a killer. Oh, who's 17? I didn't. Is that you, Ashka? Now it's you? Okay. It's one row off on the last one. Okay, so what do I have to find of this line, Ashka? Knowing what I wrote up here about relationships. The slope. How do I find the slope from this? What do I got to do from it for it? How would I get the slope? Absolutely. How do I solve for y? What do I do next? Remember, the first step is I got to get this out of the way. How do I get that out of the way? Subtracting. And then you just have one more step to do. Divide by 3. And you can leave this a mess because it doesn't really matter. All I need is the slope from this. And what is the slope? What's the slope, Ashka? Good. And then I got Dana back there. So we did the first part where we got the slope of my new line is also -2/3 because these are parallel, so they're equal. So if the slope of this one's -2/3, the slope of this one's -2/3. And luckily we're writing it in slope-intercept form. So Dana, right? I'm going to start filling in these parts for my new line, which passes through this and is parallel to this. So what's y? There you go. And that's all you do. 1 equals. What's m? Ah, that's my brain. Sorry. One more. -2/3. I did a switcheroo on that. What's x? And then we're finding b. Hey, Dana, what's -2/3 times 3? -2. So I have to add 2 to both sides. I really hope you can handle that as a cat. Meow, students. And then guess what? You're done. It just says slope-intercept form. You're not done yet. Y equals, my new line is -2/3 x plus 3, because it does say slope-intercept form. Okay? Got it? All right, last student of the day. Hopefully you put it all together, your memorization tools and understanding this stuff. Oh no. Is that Ashka, 17? Okay, now luckily I see my old line. So my new line passes through this and is perpendicular to that line. What does that mean the slope of this line is over here? Ooh, that's if it was parallel. They'd be equal. 5/1 or 5. So this slope is -1/5. So the new slope is 5. All right, and I'll take it from here. It does say standard form, so I'll take it from here. You still want to do the y equals mx plus b, y equals mx plus b. This is -5, so I'm going to add 5 to both sides. B equals 9. Really hope you can handle that. Again, we're not doing a big deal here. I'm doing -5 times 1 or -1 times 5 in my head, and then adding 5 to both sides. And then my equation of the new line is y equals 5 for slope, x, plus 9 for b. Now, for standard form, the only thing I have to do is subtract 5x. And then if I'm a math stickler, a should be positive. Multiply a negative both sides. Right? And that really should not be too fast. That should be, something that we do understand there. Okay, so again, chapter P, unrelated concepts. We're just hitting a review concept or two every single day. And then some days we spread it out a little bit more. Okay, I'll end the second movie. I think. I don't know what's going on right now, and I don't know how